I'd like to say welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Tony Hollis Live Talk Show Testify. We got a real good show for you all today. As promised, I was going to give you a follow-up on a story that I had been working on a couple of days ago, as it involves our new police chief, assistant chief, excuse me, our new assistant police chief, where the mom, the parent of the minor, filed a complaint against the new police chief for attacking her son. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, and we're going to be discussing some audio that I want to share with you all as well. The mom giving you a little snapshot of exactly what happened. I'm waiting on the video, but I do have audio and some documentation that I like to show you. So you all sit tight, grab you a bottle of water, cup of coffee or something, and I want you all to come back and I want you all to join me while we crank this show up, okay? So come back and join us. Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we back. Again, I want to talk to you about incident to where a 17-year-old minor according to the mom, she did file a police report, was attacked uh, by the new police chief. Okay, now I want to go ahead and show you just real quickly before we get started. Those of you who might want to go and try to request that case number. I did have that case number up here. Here we go. This is the case number to the complaint that the mom filed. Okay, that is the complaint right there. And if I can just blow it up where I can read it to you. But that complaint there is case number 2023 01423. That's the case number of the complaint that was filed by the mom. Of course, you can go and you can request that complaint. I always say it's best to put it in a paper trail in terms of a document. Your FOI is what I'm talking about, making that request. You can do it in person as well. All right. But that is the complaint that was filed by the number. That is the case number right there. So I wanted to show you all that. Okay. But anyway, again, we're going to be getting into this show. And to set this show off, um, I have a audio that I want you all to hear. This audio basically explains um, the mom who witnessed the new police chief, uh, John Frazier, attacked her son. I can call names now because, as I say, I gave you the case number, so this is not hearsay. This is an incident that did occur here in Blavel in the juvenile courtroom. Okay. And so we're going to be talking about that. But to set the stage of this show, and for those of you who want to call in when I do get to my Q&A, you can call in. Most of you see my number scrolling across there, 870 740 That is the number to my show. You can call in, of course. And I also probably had it up here. I can pretty much show it to you. Uh, I got everything here. I was rushing trying to get on or whatever. But you all see it scrolling across there. And so that's enough information there for you to use. I mean, for you to be aware of what's my number, excuse me. But let me set the stage real quickly. I want you all to listen to this video, all right? And we're going to come back and we're going to jump into the discussion, okay? So that's how this is going to go. All right. So I just want to put up there for those of you who may just walk in and you're not knowing what I'm talking about or what have you. This is what we will be talking about. You will be listening to when I begin to start playing the audio. You will be listening to uh, how the mom tells or explain how the new assistant chief, we're talking about the new assistant chief, John Frazier, who was just appointed. He took over return assistant chief Ricky Jefferson. But she will tell you exactly how she witnessed. You will hear that in this audio. Like I said, I'm just playing just a snapshot of it, just to give you an understanding of what happened. Okay, so let's try to play that now. All right, let's go and find it. I had it right here in front of me. Okay, so let me go to my audio system here and turn it on. And hopefully then we can get this show started. So here we go. Talked to us and we got through. And my son asked Frazier, will he stop bugging looking at, staring at him? Okay, we all have freedom of speech and we all have rights. And where did all this take place at there when he asked Frazier that? Was y'all in the courtroom outside? The courtroom, we just got through seeing the judge and she hit the little thing on the thing. And if court was over, we had to go out in the hall for the continuance paper of the court date for me to come back with him. Okay, so we get two peers, like the peer behind him and the other officers and the other peer. So it's like two peers from where he was sitting, and we walk in. So we stopped walking because he turned around and said to my son, "What did you just say to me?" in the aggressive, angry tone. And my son was like, "You heard me. I asked you, will you stop bugging / staring at me?" And then so he turned back around, talked to the other officers. We made it out the courtroom doors. The doors closed behind us in the hallway. Got about 6 minutes. Double glass doors that lead out to the main hallway, to the elevators and the stairway to go. Me and my son walked side by side this whole time. Okay, so we get to the doors and both of us have our hand on each door. Then Frazier come boom rushing out the courtroom, sliding in between me and my son because it wasn't that much space. And I'm leaning back and then he take his hand and he put it around my son's neck and choked him to where he picked him up off the floor and his feet was down. I'm asking him, "Why are you choking my son? Stop choking my son." The other officer that was in the court seen it and heard the commotion and bust out there. Was he a deputy cop? Okay, this other officer, stop for a minute. This other officer, was he a Blythe cop or a county cop that was looking on? The ones that came outside? The ones that was around Frazier, when Frazier attacked your son, the officers was around your son with Frazier. Were they county cops or Blythe cops? Both in Gosnell, Assistant Chief of Police. Wow. Oh, Gosnell Police Chief was there too? Yes. Okay, go ahead. Okay, and then so my son told him to stop choking him. He told my son to stop resisting arrest. I'm right here by Wait a minute. Son. He choking your son. He choking your son. Did he ever say your son was on the arrest? No, he never Mirandized him or nothing. Yeah, but what would be the reason for him to Mirandize him if he hadn't broken in at all? He didn't. He bomb rushed out the courtroom and did what I told you. Then the other officers came out. They told me, step out the way. So I know they grabbed me. They didn't grab me. They moved me out the way. And they got Frazier off of my son because he tried to wrestlers choke slam the You mean officers? You mean officer had to physically pull Frazier off your son? Yes. Oh Lord. And then so he had him feel he couldn't choke slam him.
he had got him up against the wall, and the other officers got my son and took him in the room where we go to talk to the public defender. And so I'm inside, so I go inside the room,
Got
and
less than
then
5 minutes.
Frazier comes in there, and Captain Wild, Chief Wild had my son come, and then Frazier gonna come in the room. He took my son and pushed him up against the glass window, making him bump his head up against the glass window, and I see all this. And my son telling him that he's finna break his arm, and he's telling him to give him his arm, give him his arm. And my son was like, "You got my arm. I'm not resisting arrest." So then I get in there to sit down, because asked me to move out the way, so I moved out the way, and they went in there. And then when I was able to go in there, Fraser's still up in there, diffusing the fire, conflict of interest, bullying my son, telling him, "Oh, so you can't, I bet you can't wait to see me out in the street." My son this has nothing to do with the street. And then he was like, "Oh, I can't wait till you go get 18. I know I'm gonna be seeing a lot of you." My son said, "You was not gonna see a lot of me nothing." And then he gonna say, "I bet you disrespect your mom." I said, "Don't bring me into this." I said, "My son respects me."
Mm-hmm.
And then my son was like, "You choked me, and you choked me, and you did all this stuff on my forehead against the wall, and I almost broke my arm." And the whole time he lying. And then while he trying to get in my son's face, leaning over his table, I'm sitting up blocking it because my son's sitting beside me. And I tell Chief Wiles, I said, you see him adding more fury to the conflict of interest. He's the bully in my son. He said yes, and he asked him first time to leave up out of there.
Chief Wise, who is Chief Wise?
Chief Wiles is the Gosnell chief of police.
Okay, all right. Okay. And
then so he never left up out of there. And then so the two police standing at the door with the door cracked, and they opened the door, and they had to get him up out of there. And then before he left up out of there, they was like, "What are you charging him with?" He said, "I don't know." That's why he could go sit in the holding cell, because we was getting Chris calm, and he kept adding furies to the fire, picking and bullying with my son for no reason, because he asked him to stop. Can he stop bugging his slash staring at him? And then so he said he got to go in the courtroom and see. So then 5 minutes later, he come back out talking about charging him with disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. And my son never did none of this. And they were just on. They took him downstairs. I went downstairs with them. I requested the footage. They said they had to call the company. They done their footage because they don't have the footage there, and they was gonna get it for me. And then I was like, I asked Mr. Durrell, this with the juvenile office. I asked him, what is he?
We got about 2 minutes.
My son. And he was like, they just really want to hold him in the holding cell till he comes down because of what just happened. And then so Frazier come downstairs requesting the video and telling them that my son needs to be locked up on a 72-hour hold. So I went and got my son yesterday, but as he's saying, if he goes back upstairs, I'm still downstairs with my son. I'm never leaving my son unless they transport him, and I can't be with him. So I'm still downstairs with my son. Frazier goes back up on the stairs to the third floor. I hear him telling them, "Where's the video? Give me the video." And I heard someone say, "What video?" And he said, "What just happened today?" And so he was like, "Get that video to me now." And then someone else, that's a parent that was there, they asked me, "Did he just choke my son?" I said, "Yes, he just choked my son and tried to lie like he had him in a chokehold, and he never did." I said, "Cameras right here. Y'all was out there, the court officials, people, officers, the juvenile people, they witnessed it also." Mm-hmm. And so
well, that's enough of that, ladies and gentlemen. I think you all heard enough. That probably was about I don't know, maybe a 30-minute or more interview. But I just wanted to give you all a little bit about exactly what happened that particular day outside the court presence. Okay. Now, I'm going to read you the police report as well, and the police report is inconsistent in terms of what was given to the mom and what was given to me. So you know what that means, don't you? That means somebody is somewhat obstructing justice. I believe that's not a fact, just what I believe, because I have two different documents in my hand, one to the mom and one to me, and they both are different. How can that be? All right. Now you heard the mom stated that initially they had spoke with the judge, and to my understanding and hearing her, that there was a continuance while they was inside the courtroom. The young minor, her son, noticed how Assistant Chief John Frazier kept, um, I guess, staring at him, for a better way of explaining it. These young kids get this language now to where I gotta catch up on it. But anyway, what he was asking Frazier, uh, Frazier made him feel uncomfortable, according to the mom and according to the son. Frazier was staring at this young man inside the courtroom, and the young man asked Frazier, why was he staring at him, and asked him to stop. So as they was proceeding to walk outside of the courtroom, they inside the courtroom right now, and they walking out. Okay. And that's where the mom tell her story, to where Frazier come bum rush, between her and, whatever, and made his way to her son, grabbing him. You heard that. Grabbed him uh, by the, uh, I guess, the chest area, said, put him somewhat in a chokehold. And at the same time, she explained how Frazier was so irate. I mean, he was out of control. Um, After that, it seems though, after that incident, now mind you, they're not inside the courtroom, all right? The presence of the judge, they outside of the courtroom. I guess they got some little hall foyer area there. Frazier come back for a second uh, encounter. Let me just say that. To where he demanded that this kid be locked up. In fact, Frazier put hands on him, and you heard the mom pushed him up against I guess, some type of wall or whatever, and the kid saying, "You're gonna break my arm." I guess Frazier was trying to put the cuffs on him or what have you, but no crime had been committed. So why is he arresting this young man? Okay, the young man asked him a question inside the courtroom before he was walking out. Nothing disrespectful, according to the mom, and I guess Frazier didn't like it, so he followed this kid. And once they got the kid calmed down, she mentioned someone named Daryl. I think that's maybe a juvenile officer or what have you. So after the young man already done been roughed up, he was traumatized, already done been roughed up. The juvenile officer and the mom tried to calm her son. And according to the mom, you heard that they basically had him calm. But what do you know? That wasn't good enough for Frazier. He come back for more. Young man come with his mom and with the juvenile officer. Frazier come back. And I think that's when he began to demand uh, uh, that he was going to arrest him. Didn't even have a charge. According to the mom, they asked what was the charge. And I think from what I heard was that I think at that point he didn't know yet or something like that. There was no charge. But he said that this kid need to be locked up. In fact, up on his command, this new assistant chief, he had this kid sent to Creighton County, locked up for 3 days, and was supposed to go and transport this kid back. But that didn't happen. The mom had to go pick her son up. Okay. And so after that, as you heard, Frazier knew he was in trouble, the new assistant chief. He knew he was in trouble the way he attacked this young man. I can say what I say now is because I'm speaking to a witness. Okay, these are not my words. You heard right from the mom, and there was other people who witnessed that. They even walked up to the mom and say, "Did he just choke your son?" Frazier knew that he was in trouble. So what does he do? He started inquiring about the video. Where's the video? He knew he had messed up. Now, since it was on county property, they was at the Mississippi County courthouse, juvenile court. Since it was on county property, I imagine any videos that they did have probably was property that belongs to the county. So this is not Blythe police station. Thank God it wasn't, because with him being assistant chief and have access to just about every room that's inside the municipal police department, there's no telling. There's I think one can reasonably think that would this be an opportunity for, I don't know, video to come up missing? Who knows? But he wanted that video. I think the mom say what, he ran upstairs, downstairs, whatever, questioning them, where's the video? You know, they asked him what video or what just happened. So it was very clear to us what video he was talking about, because when the question was asked to Assistant Chief John Frazier, what video, immediately he stated what just happened. So I wanted to set your minds of what happened in court that particular day. Imagine that was your son. Imagine that was your son, to where a grown man manhandled your son. She even said that he sort of lifted him a little bit to where I think his foot might have been dangling. So that let me know that this kid didn't have a lot of weight on it. Probably 100 and, I don't know, 40, 50 pounds at best. So we're talking about a big bully, you know, a grown bully picking on a kid. According to the mom, there was no reason for Assistant Chief Frazier to attack her son. Now, I'm going to read to you right quick before I show you some more information. Then we're going to go, if you want to call in to the lines. When you hear me say calls are open, you can call or you can text, okay? I'll read the text or I'll take your call, all right? But wait till my call, my signal when I say the phone lines are open, okay? But they charged him. At first, they didn't know what to charge him with, according to Frazier. I guess he had to think of something, all right? But the charge was disorderly conduct. There's 9 elements, I believe. I'm not going to read them all, not in full detail, but there are 9 elements. See, in order for you to be charged with something, statutory, I meant to put that up for you, but there's an Arkansas statute that addressed disorderly conduct. That statute is 5-71. Let me see if I can put it up here. Let me get rid of this first. I want to see if I can put this up there, for you all. Just give me a minute. Let me get rid of this, what I got on my screen right now. But I want to put this up there for y'all. But this is the statute. Let me just go in here and just type it for you. 7- what was it? 71 dash 207. 207. Okay. Now, this is the statute that addresses disorderly conduct. Oh, I got that wrong. That's not, let me go back. Let me go back. That should be a 5, not a 7. So let me edit that. Okay. But this is the statute right here. Okay. It's 57127. Okay, now we smoking. Okay, now, but this is the statute right here uh, that I want to show you. This is the statute that addresses disorderly conduct. There's 9 elements that will clearly uh, show if a particular person has committed disorderly conduct. Okay, now it's number one is engaging in fighting. Okay, violence, threatening, any type of, behavior that could be deemed as, out of order. Make unreasonable or excessive noises in public places, use abusive or obscene languages, make obscene gestures in a manner like to provoke a violent or disorderly response. 4, disrupt or disturb any lawful assembly or meeting of persons. 5, obstruct vehicular or pedestrian traffic. 6, congregate with 2 or more other persons in a public place and refuse to comply with a lawful order to disperse. Okay. 7, create a hazardous or physically offensive condition. 8, in a public place, marks, defiles, desecrate, or otherwise damage a patriotic or religious symbol that is an object of respect by the public or a substantial segment of the public. Or, last one, 9, in a public place, expose his or her private parts. Everything that I just read to you, according to the mom, did none of that happen. I guess that's why uh, the new chief, assistant chief, I guess that's why he had to think about it. What was going to be the charge? Because when was asked, uh, he didn't have a charge. Now, mind you, uh, when I read this letter to you, you're going to ask the question, wait a minute, if the incident occurred inside the courtroom, why did he wait till he get outside the courtroom to first attack this young man and then turn around and want to charge him for disorderly conduct? Because you're going to clearly hear in a minute that the disorderly conduct, I believe, according to Frazier, it happened inside the courtroom. So, but anyway, we'll read that in a little bit. But those are the elements right there, okay? Now, I want to just show you just this uh this incident report. After the incident report, I read the comments or I take the calls. And then if there's nothing, any other business that need to come before me or whatever, then we will conclude this broadcast. Okay. So let me go up here and find this for you. This is the first FOI that I did. The mom did a FOI as well. They gave her one and they gave me one. All right. So I want to go up here and show this to you. I think I got it up here. I like to make sure that I have it on my screen, because a lot of times, whenever I'm doing this screen share, this thing don't want to act right, in terms of I can be reading something and you all cannot see what I'm reading, to follow along with me. All right. So, but I think we have it on screen right now. Now, this is what I want to show you all. Now, this is my FOI. Okay, let me scroll down for you. Turn your phone landscape and you can see it better. Now, this is the FOI. I think I sent this FOI out. I don't know. It might have been, I don't know, on the 12th, 13th, 14th, somewhere in there. But that's when I sent my FOI out. FOIA, excuse me. They go to date right there, 11 through the 14th. So I guess I did send it to them on the 11th. Okay. All right. Now, as you can see, the person who made this report out is actually the person who was accused of attacking this minor. So let me ask you a question. If you are the one that committed the wrong, and they're going to give you the privilege of making out the report, how you think that report going to look or sound or read? You think it's going to benefit that 17-year-old minor? Or do you think it's going to benefit the new assistant police chief, John Frazier? There's his name there. You see his name there. Reported by whom? John Frazier. Okay, he calling this a misdemeanor. Okay, that's what he calling this, a misdemeanor. All right. You can see over there, this report was taken 7/11. Let me see if I can move this over a little bit. Like I'm kind of off a little bit. Yeah, it was oops. Let me see if I can take this over a little bit that way. Okay. Oops. So there we go. Misdemeanor. And we scroll down. You see the charge. Well, I got my cursor there. Disorderly conduct. There go the statute again. 571-207. Okay. Took place at the Mississippi County Courthouse. Okay. This is the FOI that they sending me now. Keep in mind now, this is what I'm reading to you now is to me. We're going to read the mom's next. Her incident report is totally different from mine. Okay. Okay. Ethnicity, not Hispanic or Latino, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Now, it did say that he's a juvenile. You can see right there where it say juvenile. Okay. Now, as we scroll down a little bit more, you see where it say narrative. That's very important. That's what I want y'all to look at. Where it say narrative. All right. Narrative. This is in one sentence. Juvenile arrested in for disorderly conduct while appearing in juvenile court on unrelated felony charges. That was a narrative report that was sent to me. Okay. So that was one thing that I noticed. And also on another report, I don't even think they knew exactly what was the race. It might have been on the mom's incident report. But there it is, you know. And mind you now, they didn't mention the juvenile by name or anything. Okay? Only thing that they gave me in terms of the narrative report was this, which was juvenile arrested and for disorderly conduct. Now, we're going to get out of that. And I want to take you to another incident report that was sent to the mom, which is hers was totally different than mine. Okay, totally different than mine. So we're going to go and look at her incident report. Let's try to pull that up now. Okay. Let's try to pull that up now. All right. It's coming up now. Everything is slow. Okay, here we go. I think this is it right here. All right. Yeah, this is it. All right. Now, let's get out of here. Let's go back over to, where we were. Okay. Now, we're going to go back and to if I can find myself, we're going to go back into where we were. Okay. Now, this is the report that was sent to the mom. I want you all to read with me on this. Okay. Now, let's go up here. Let's start from the beginning. It's not but 2 pages. It's not long at all. Okay. We're going to bump that down one. Okay. Now, go with that. Now, again, who makes this report out? This is to the mom, this FOI, John Frazier. Now, my FOI was sent to me on July the 14th. She got her report, seemed like on July the 11th. I got mine on July the 14th, 3 days later. Okay. She got hers before me. Okay, let's thumb down. Disorderly conduct. You see the charge there. All right. Now, ethnicity. You know, on mine it said what? It said that Hispanic or something, unknown. I mean, Hispanic or something. It said, and then on hers, where it mentioned, you know, the ethnicity, it got unknown. So that's one inconsistent wording, if you will, that I saw. Okay, both 17 years old. Okay. Got on this here one, city, age. I guess he got 0 here. I guess he didn't know how old the kid was. Now, this word get important. That narrative report. Remember that one sentence that was sent to me on 7/14, 3 days later? The mom got it 3 days before I did. This was July the 7th. July the 11th, 2023. You see that big old paragraph there? Probably if you break it up there, you probably see many as 2.5 paragraphs. I just got one sentence. So the question is, why did the chief not send me this same narrative report that he sent to the mom? Let's read this narrative report. Okay. Okay, let's read this narrative report. It says, on July the 11th, 2023, I, Assistant Chief Frazier, he making his own report out. Y'all already know where it's going to go, don't you? You already know how this going to sound, don't you? He making out the report. All right. They giving him the honor of making out the report of a crime. I'm calling it crime because the mom called it a crime. That's why she filed a complaint saying that this new chief attacked her son. John Frazier was in the juvenile court for a case that I was called into court for. Okay. That's what John Frazier's saying. He was calling into court for. So he didn't just show up. He said somebody called him. Okay. During waiting on my case to come forward, the offender in this incident was in front of the court for his arrest in case. So John Frazier didn't have nothing to do with this kid, y'all. John Frazier wasn't even there for this kid. He was there for some other case, as he stated. Okay, now, as he was leaving the court, same thing the mom say, leaving outside the court. As he was leaving, that's the key word, leaving the court, he looked at me. That's what Frazier said. He looked at me and said something. Okay? He looked at me and said something. I really wasn't paying that much attention. If I wasn't an attorney, I would eat him up. First of all, he said something, but he can't even identify what he said. He said, when he was leaving the court, he looked at me and he said something. But I really wasn't paying that much attention. So I wasn't even paying attention to this kid. Although he looked at me and said something, I wasn't even paying attention to him, to what he was saying. So I looked at him. Wait a minute now. First you say you wasn't looking, and then you say you're looking. I mean, which is it? But anyway, Frazier says, I looked at it and said, what? You know, there should be an explanation mark there, because I don't think he just looked at him and say what? I think it had a little bit more expression behind those words. But anyway, he said, don't be effing mean mugging me. Oh, man. So now the cursing words, you got to make that charge stick, disorderly conduct, using obscene, saying something offensive, blah, 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 blah. So he had to throw that F word in there. Say, Don't be fucking mean mugging me. I told you to leave. I told you to leave. He was already leaving out of the courtroom. What do you mean I told you to leave? That's not Frazier's courtroom. He was already dismissed. Him and his mom was leaving outside the courtroom. So why would Frazier have to tell him to leave? And Frazier was the one that initiated the conversation. He stopped this guy as he was leaving. What you say? Anyway, he persisted, and I stood up to escort him from the court. Y'all, it's gaps in this story. As we were walking out, he continued with profanities. And I put my hand on his back. He was that close to the kid. I thought it was some distance away. But anyway, he swung his elbow around as if he was going to attempt to become physical. You either are physical. I mean, how do you read into that? He attempt to become physical. This boy gonna have some time in court. At that point, I grabbed at him in a bear hug and physically moved him into the witness room in the back of the court. It took myself and two other officers to finally get him into handcuffs. He was charged with disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. He was transported by Mississippi County Sheriff Office, guess that's what he means, to a juvenile holding facility. Officers present during the arrest were myself, Officer High with Juvenile, Chief, Wiles, Gosnell Police, and Officer Steele, Jonesboro Police Department. So that's the narrative report. How come Thompson didn't give me that narrative report, y'all? Knowing very well I still have a court order in place that simply says that if you should not fulfill a FOI to Mr. Hollis, he can bring you back to court for contempt. Don't that sound like contempt to y'all? There was nothing in this narrative report that would have prevented Chief Thompson from sending me the very same words that he sent to the mom. And if you see right now, while I still got it on the screen, nowhere, not for one time, was this juvenile name mentioned. To where, you might have to, redact it because of a juvenile, a minor. You can't really call the minor name and blah, 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 because of HIPAA laws and all this or what have you. His name wasn't even in it. This was sent to the mom. So why wasn't this same narrative report sent to me? I have the emails and everything to back it up. Chief Thompson claimed that he's yet working on my FOI. Well, hell, the FOI was already completed on July the 11th. You didn't send me mine to July the 14th. So why did I not get the same thing that mom got? Sound like cover up to me. So that was that, y'all. Now let's get out of here. And let's go back. Let's get out of here and let's go back. All right. So that was that. So what do y'all think? Do y'all think that somebody is not somebody, but do you think that somebody is trying to hide something? Number one, why was Frazier so worried about the video footage? Or what happened that day? He needed to get his hands on it. And why did the chief send me a different FOI than what he sent mom? He sent me one sentence. He sent her 2.5 paragraphs. Why so? So what do you say, ladies and gentlemen who are tuning in to the Tony Hollis Live talk show, which is your platform to come and testify? So what say you? Do you believe that Chief Thompson purposely intended not to send me the very same incident report that he sent mom. If it was intentionally, why? Why did he do it? Why did Frazier continue to engage with this young juvenile after the juvenile had left his presence, going outside the courtroom? Why did Frazier follow this juvenile? Caught up with him and put him in a, Frazier called it a bear hug, whereas the mom called it a chokehold. But let's not forget, the new chief is the one that made out the report. All right. So what say you, ladies and gentlemen? Let's go to the board before we anyone want to see if I got my phone on. Anybody want to call in to the Tony Hollis Live Talk Show, testify? 870-740-1515. It's scrolling right there at the top, above my head. And so call in if you please. So let's read some of these comments here. All right. Okay. Oh, I didn't know this many folks was on. Okay. So much, I guess that's so, let me see. So much hell, so much damn hell. All right. She should have recorded that. I think they do have video footage. I think as Captain, I still call him Captain, but the new police chief, Frazier, John Frazier, as he was also worried. Where's the video? Where's the video? What video? Or what just happened? So for some apparent reason, he was very anxious to want to get his hand on that video footage of that encounter with him and this minor. Okay. So but yeah, she did she have enough information to where this thing should go to court. As a matter of fact, before I get any further, I want to say I did reach out to the Ford Council. They are aware of it. I did reach out to the mayor. I have not heard from the mayor. I have not heard from the mayor. But now she's gonna have to tell me something, because her chiefdom violated FOIA. He didn't send me the complete narrative report. I mean, FOI. He didn't fulfill my FOI. I asked for it 3 days later. How do you send me something different, chief of police, Madam Mayor? How do your chief send me something different that he gave the mom 3 days before I even asked? He give her the whole full narrative report. The kid name is not even mentioned to the mom. So there was nothing in that narrative report that would have prevented the police chief from sending me the same very narrative report that he sent mom. And I got emails to back it up. Okay. So, but that was that. Again, who else we got up here? I'm gonna try to get to the ones that I don't get to. I'm trying to get to the questions. Who is that? That's Miss Williams. She should have reported it right now. Everything that should have been done have been done. Okay. Right now, we're looking for the mayor to do what should have been done on the day that this occurred. This man is still working, you all. I had requested in my FOI as well, something that was, set to the side other than the FOI. I asked it for her to at the least, put Assistant Chief John Frazier on leave, pending an independent, thorough investigation. Haven't heard from her. Not one mumbling word. Haven't heard from her. Even with this contempt here from her police chief, haven't heard from her. Okay. She did report it. Okay. Also, we got they work together. Definitely do. Something is going on here. But I'm gonna tell you something. As much as Blythe Police Department has been throwing spitballs at Mississippi County Sheriff Department, as much as they've been throwing spitballs at Mississippi County Sheriff Department, ain't nobody gonna grant uh, Assistant Chief John Frazier. He ain't gonna get his hands on those videos. You know, if he do get his hands on those videos, he can bite them, flush them, destroy them, do what he want to do with them. But guess what? Where that one came from, there's another one. There's a bag up. So this thing go to court. It ain't gonna turn out well for our new assistant chief. Trust me. All right. Who else we got up here? That's just Miss Rum says she watching. Miss Jones, she says she watching. Miss Anna Jones, she's watching. Let me blow this up where I can read that. It said the police feel that they can, I guess, do what they want, and nothing is going to happen to them. Evidently, that appears to be the case, Miss Jones. That really does appears to be the case. And as many of you have heard me say so often, no one is above the law. Okay? No one is above the law. You are not above reproach. You're not so high that you can't be reached. The same laws that was passed by our state legislators, these very same laws, police officers must obey. It's no different than Donald Trump, President of the United States. You are not above the law. You break the law, you will answer to the law. No different than, excuse me, no different than a municipal government, a local government that we're talking about now. You know, if Donald Trump is going to be held accountable, Blythe Police Department and Madam Mayor, then your assistant chief, he must be held to account. You can't go around breaking the very law that you took a solemn oath. You raised that hand, swearing to not only make sure that the public is safe while in the commission of you doing your job, protecting and serving, you must obey those very same laws that you've been given a due privilege to enforce. Okay? So I get it. Okay, where we at now? But anyway, let me keep going. I'm looking for a question. What was this here? Let me blow that up. It say, this is Miss Anna Jones. He wanted to get the video so he can get rid of it like Gosling School. They still didn't bring the video. And like I say, you know, inquiring minds wants to know, you know, what was so special? Well, not the word special, urgent, I guess. Why was it so urgent or necessary that Frazier inquired about the video footage? When he got the video footage, what was his intent? I mean, what was he going to do with it besides watch it or view it? Excuse me. So that is that. Okay, somebody mentioned something about y'all. I'm trying to jump around here. I think Chief Wiles was there, Miss Jones. I think he witnessed this incident. I'm thinking that's the same Gosnell chief or whatever. All the way. Yeah, I hope she go all the way with it. How you doing, Miss Anderson? We had a nice time in church today, didn't we? Yes, this is so silly. It is, Sister Anderson. It is. You know, I'm I'm really trying not to laugh, but this is a serious issue. Anytime you really don't supposed to put your hands on nobody, let alone a minor, a kid who is smaller than this police officer. Okay. It's almost like this kid was being bullied. A lot of that stuff going on in school now, where some children have taken their lives from being bullied. All right. Corruption, a case can be made. Um, the blue curtain, the blue curtain, blue wall, some refer to it as well. Uh, you know, what stays uh, within the scope of blue. I mean, what happened within the scope of blue stays within the scope of blue. We're talking about when we speak about the blue wall, the blue curtain. We're talking about police officers to where they have formed a circle. When you hear that word, blue curtain, blue wall, uh, uh, they have formed a circle or some type of petition to where it separate them from the public. All right, it's like almost like if anything bad goes on within that blue circle or on the other side of that blue wall, nobody that represent blue is to speak what happened. All right. Uh, this Miss Bradley. I'm gonna blow this up where I can read it. It said Chief Thompson and Frazier, along with the other officers, are full of crap. This need to be brought before the judge along with mother, her son, and their attorney. Blythe Police Department is getting away with too much wrongdoing. I totally agree. And I will say that attorneys, um, at least I'm hoping, I don't have any information if one have been hired yet. I don't know. But since we can't hear anything, at least myself, I haven't got a response from the mayor. I did have one council member to respond back to me, my city council member, uh, Miss Shirley Marshall. That's my council rep now. She did respond back to me. So she's concerned. All right. Not the fact that she's passing judgment, but she is very concerned. All right. This is a serious issue. And so I want to thank my city council person, who was the newly elect uh, councilwoman, Mrs. Shirley Marshall. Thank you for your concern. All right. Uh, so who else we got here? Looking for a question. Uh, how you doing there, Tam? We got Tam there. Tune in, my brother. I knew you. We'll do so when you get the time. Please do support us, and uh, for those that that live in Mississippi County, I know you got family back here. Uh, Please have them to step up and support this family. Okay. Uh, I wouldn't get a local attorney. Trust me, the mom we talked today. Uh, you know, a local attorney. You ask me seriously. Um, Now, local attorneys. Uh, I don't know. It's just for some reason they don't like suing. Uh, Suing Blythe Police Department. The only attorney uh, uh, to my knowledge that have sued the Blythe Police Department, that it be civil or that it be a criminal matter. Lord rest his soul. Um, uh, Attorney Harris. Is it Jim Harris? His first name, Attorney Jim Harris. Now, Jim Harris. I mean, he didn't he didn't look at it from uh, what type of job you had, or who you represent, how much money you had. If there was a case and he thought that he had a case to litigate, you can better believe Jim Harris was going to take your case. Now, uh, I don't know. There's another law firm here. I don't really want to get start calling names that who have sued uh, municipalities. Uh, but I won't say nothing just yet. Okay. But we definitely need to have local attorneys to step up because any money uh, that is paid out on lawsuits, you might as well get it because if you don't get it, some other attorney outside this jurisdiction, Mississippi County or the state for that matter, they're going to get it. So I think it's a missed opportunity for those attorneys that live here in Blytheville, in Mississippi County for that matter. I think it's a missed opportunity for you always to pass on cases, especially if there's a case to be litigated. Uh, but anyway, we at the crunch. Last question. How long I've been on? Oh, y'all, I'm right at 1 hour, y'all. I'm getting ready to shut it down. Okay. Uh, this is Miss Jackson. No, oh, that's Miss Bradley. Excuse me. I saw that name, Juanita. If mother and son was leaving, let me get that out of the way. If mother and son was leaving in the world, why in the world, excuse me, if mother and son was leaving, why in the world would Frazier approach them? He followed them. You know, mind you, he even admitted himself that uh, when he finally made eye contact with this young man, it was inside the courtroom, you know. Uh, uh, and I think he might have claimed that he wasn't even paying him no attention. Then all of a sudden he asked him, what did he say? And, you know, then one thing led to another. He followed the kid outside the presence of inside the courtroom. And that's where, you know, the mom, you know, she told what she told and what she saw. All right. So that's all we have. Uh, y'all, you need to start calling in. Don't be scared. I got this telephone. I've been telling y'all for the last 3 years that I'm going to get my intercom system set up to where you can call in, give your your comments. I know everyone that can't type fast, they can tell it better than they can type it. And so please do. This is your platform. I tell everyone, when you have something that you would like to share with the public, please come to the Tony Hollis Live Talk Show. Give me your information. I'll look at it, check it out. All check well. You will be my next guest on the Tony Hollis Live Talk Show. Also, if you went to court, whether it was yesterday or today, and the judge just didn't let you tell it all. In fact, she might have found you in contempt because you kept running your mouth when she told you to shut up. Don't sweat it. Judge tell you shut up. And come on over here to Tony Hollis Live Talk Show and testify. I'll let you tell it all. All right. But anyway, that's all I have, ladies and gentlemen. And if you all don't have any questions for me or what have you, then you already know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what I always do. I'm going to go ahead. I think I had an announcement that I had to make, but I forgot about the announcement. If I don't write it down, you know, I forget what I'm supposed to be, you know, talking about. So I did forget what I was supposed to be talking about. And so, but we do have a lot of things coming up here in Blytheville, Mississippi County. We're going to be seeing reunions, that they be family reunions or some other form of reunions, get together, like everybody to be safe. And please, this saturation, roadblocks and everything, they continue to occur. All right. These operations to where they may be detaining you for whatever reason, that it be a traffic stop or what have you. And most of the time you hear saturations where they probably be looking for probation and parole violators. You know, you might head and went, saw you, been months since your probation officer done saw you, you don't stop paying your fees or whatever. And so now they got to come and, you know, seek you out with these saturations operation. So please take care of your business. The Blytheville Police Department continue to shame you, embarrass you. If you get any business with the court or what have you, please do get down there and take care of whatever business that you have with the court, because if not, the Blytheville Police Department, they will shame you. All right, put you all over social media. Okay, so that's all I have, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you all for tuning in. You all have a remaining blessed Sunday, and until I see you again, I'm going to go ahead and get ready to get up out of here because, uh, you know, time has been well spent, and I want to say that the last of this month, well, we're already in the last of this month. I may not have a show, may be out of town. So, but you all, please do come back the following Sunday after that, and we will get this show started the way we know how. Okay. So I want to say, may God bless, may God keep you all, peace and love.